Good afternoon, everybody. Let me see if I can share my screen. Yes, I can. Here we go. Um, all right. So President Trump just finished up his press conference a little while ago, and he was talking about cars and I don't know, ending the mandates or something. I'm not sure. And there's going to be you're going to be able to deduct your interest payment if you have a loan for a car. I don't know when I guess Congress codifies or whatever his big beautiful bill that needs to happen so that it will be a little bit easier for Republicans to get into office, except for the lobby part of it that I don't like, especially APAC. So I do not agree with that any longer. I don't think I ever did. I don't think I ever really realized it until lately. What really happens down in DC. So, but I think it was yesterday he was talking about the Somali community in Minnesota and how he was calling them names, and because he did that, his approval rating shot up, which I think is kind of funny. But that's what happened. And well, I don't know if there's a lot of people, and I'm not sure. But there is a representative in Congress, so there's got to be a significant amount of them in Minnesota somewhere. And so they apparently were caught in a fraud, in a SNAP benefit fraud scheme. And that's what President Trump is talking about. That's why um, they're looking into the SNAP benefits and a lot of other things concerning immigrants and immigration, and with the Afghan um, national who targeted two National Guardsmen in DC. So this immigration is, I don't know, it changed a little bit. I have no idea. Uh, are they still deporting them? I don't know. They don't seem to be in the news that much, so I don't know if these raids are still going on. I believe that they are, but I don't hear anything about it. And so I wanted to find out and go into a little bit of the scam and the fraud that the Somalis were able to pull off concerning the SNAP benefits or welfare program. And I just don't want to. I don't want to just point out. I just don't want to like target the Somalis because everybody does it. Okay, it's not just them. It's it's this has happened before. It's probably still going on, and I really think I wish I would give it to the people that really need it. Would it be better if it was decentralized instead of the federal government taking care of this? I mean, I don't know. But it seems like it's just a little too easy for these people to commit fraud. The Somalis and everybody else as well. It's too easy. And they don't get caught for a very long time until somebody takes a look into it. And there were over like 180,000 people that they were sending benefits to that were deceased. And this is the same thing with Social Security. I mean, this fraud or this unaccountability, these people that work in these departments in the federal government should all be fired. All of them should be fired. Who's keeping track of these records? What is going on here? We're losing so much money. God knows how much money we've lost now that it's gotten caught, but it hasn't been caught. It hasn't been caught for a very long time, and we lost a lot of money. So um, it's really unbelievable. I really didn't get it. I really didn't look into this because I was doing other things with Zionism and the like, because what is going on in Gaza is just sick. And it's still going on in Israel and our involvement there. I wish it would just stop. So I'm going to go into and read this and talk about this fraud, the fraud that the Somali community has committed in Minnesota. A sprawling series of federal fraud cases centered in Minnesota's Somali immigrant community has exposed billions of dollars in alleged theft from U.S. social welfare programs, money that prosecutors say was laundered through shell operations and in some instances rooted overseas. So, yeah, I heard that. I read that as well. That they sent the money overseas. So, what is going on with the Somali fraud? Let's do this one. And, there is like a war going on with the governor, Tim Walz of Minnesota, and there was some name calling by President Trump, and it is because of this, the scam that was going on. I don't know how long President Trump has known about it, but now it is public. So let's see what MSNBC has got to say. This was a week ago. Massive fraud by Somali immigrants in Minnesota hands GOP political hammer against liberal programs. Federal prosecutors have uncovered multiple fraud schemes involving Somali immigrants in Minnesota that have siphoned billions in taxpayer money from food, welfare, and autism safety net programs and even routed some to overseas terrorists. The scandal uncovered by acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson in Minneapolis has handed Republicans a political cudgel heading into the 2026 election to bash liberals like Governor Tim Walz for creating a welfare state with little or no safeguards and now countless victims of fraud. The dragnet has already resulted in 77 indictments for fraud against a food welfare program called Feeding Our Future, as well as a medical professional who prosecutors alleged falsely diagnosed Somali children to steal $14 million from a federal autism assistance program. How much money do these people get? Like in Minnesota, who, these crazy liberals that run some of the states in this country, how much money are they getting? Is everything free? Is this the same kind of program as illegals? What? How does this even happen? This is really something else. And to have a governor like Tim Walz of Minnesota to allow this to happen is really unbelievable to me. I don't know when that election is coming up for governor, but geez, I hope that people are smart enough in Minnesota to get rid of this nut job. He's nuts. These are things that, if well used, this is a good way to help out our families and our friends, kind of with what that hand up to continue to climb the American dream ladder. But it was completely squandered, completely mismanagement. The Democrats, were a complete failure. A rep said in Minnesota, was a Republican. And quite frankly, you almost wonder if they're just compliant in this and they knew what was going on. How do they sit back with a blind eye to this is beyond negligence? It's criminal. It is. And I just said that. It's absolutely criminal. How these people are not in jail is beyond me. How they're charged. I don't know what Pam Bondi and the FBI, DOJ, what are they doing? And why hasn't anything been done about these governors and mayors that have illegals still in their cities and states and using taxpayer money to fund whatever the heck they need, and everybody else is squandering. I don't understand this at all. Federal authorities say the fraud across multiple programs in Minnesota alone now totals in the billions of dollars and continues to grow. And last week, officials told Congress that some of the money siphoned away by Somali immigrants made its way to Kenya and Somalia to the Al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group Al-Shabaab. You look at the money, you look at the people that have been arrested and put in jail, and we're tracking this money back to Kenya, to Somalia, and quite frankly, it could be Al-Shabaab. The scale of fraud inside the Somali community in Minnesota is so large that it is now commanding attention by national figures, including House Speaker Mike Johnson. Millions in stolen Minnesota welfare dollars have been funneled to Al-Shabaab, an ISIS-aligned terror group. Johnson wrote on his X this weekend, this happened because Democrats built a system so loose, so corrupt, and so politically timid that fraudsters exploited it. No, they don't care. Basically, these radical liberals of Democrats just don't care. President Donald Trump also weighed in on Saturday, revoking a special temporary protective status for Somalis in Minnesota and decrying the level of fraud the community has caused in Minnesota. Minnesota, under Governor Walz, is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. I am, as President of the United States, hereby terminating, effective immediately, the temporary protected status program for Somalis in Minnesota. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state, and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they came from. It's over, he added. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope it really is over. Maybe this is why his poll numbers jumped, and I did my Facebook Live this morning about that, and it has gone down since he took office this year. And, these things change every day. They're like the wind, down one day, up the next, down. It's crazy. So apparently it has gone up because of what he said about the Somalis in Minnesota. On Thursday, the 77th defendant in the food welfare program scheme was indicted, and his case gives a sense of how systemic and organized the fraud schemes have been. Federal prosecutors said Ausman Kamara, 45, was indicted on 9 charges alleging fraud, federal programs, bribery, and money laundering. Kamara was the owner of Kay's Dollar Grocery and Deli, a small storefront grocery store in North Minneapolis. In August 2015, the Agricultural Department disqualified Kamara and his store from food stamps due to suspected fraud. That was 10 years ago. In September 2020, prosecutors alleged Kamara enrolled Kay's Grocery in the federal child nutrition program under the sponsorship of Feeding Our Future. These people really have criminal minds. In 2020 and 2021, Kamara fraudulently claimed to be serving meals to 1,000 children a day, 7 days a week at his site when he wasn't. At his site? What site? At the store? How stupid, seriously, can you be? In all, Kamara claimed to have served more than 300,000 meals to children, for which he claimed to be entitled to more than $1 million in federal child nutrition program reimbursement, authorities said. Kamara did not use these funds to purchase food to feed children. Instead, he used the money to fund his lifestyle, pay his credit card bills, and buy a building in North Minneapolis, and also send some of that money overseas. Republicans across the country are signaling they intend to use the fraud in Minnesota to run against the far left's open borders, welfare, M-driven policies. This story is a perfect storm of progressive governance, non-existent immigration vetting, massive welfare and benefits fraud, and American tax dollars going to people who want us dead. And this has been going on since 2015. The insanity of it all. Like, seriously, the insanity of it all. They didn't stop them then, and God knows how much money we have lost because of fraud. And that's just one state. That's just one state. This is going on all over the country. So I wanted to find out about that, and they are 77th person has been indicted. 77. Can you imagine? 77 people that have so far, I guess, been indicted, doing this kind of things. I mean, it's really unbelievable. And how they think of these things, I don't know. I really don't know. I wish. I mean, I don't want to have a brain like that, but they're such liars. They're thieves. We'll never get that money back. Just paying for his lifestyle, like a millionaire lifestyle, buying a home or whatever he bought, who knows, a car, paying off his credit card bills. I mean, this is, it's really something. And, I don't know how they were caught. I guess the district attorney of Minnesota found out about it. I don't know how long um, they have been investigating this. It must have been a little while to come out with right now what they found out, because they must have proof. So they probably were looking into this for a little while anyway. It didn't just happen, I don't think, all of a sudden. So yeah, I wish, again, I don't know how. I still think that I think it would be better if it was out of the Fed's hands and gone to the states. Let the states figure it out. Let the states do what they need to do with their welfare program. Let them fund it. Let them fund it. It needs to be decentralized. Let the states figure out what it is that they need to do. And I think the feds need to step out of it totally. I mean, with a lot of other things too. It's just way too easy to commit these kinds of abuses, and also for the states, like even Michelle Wu is suing President Trump because he's going to cut the federal funding for whatever it is, and she's screaming, and she sued him because more than 1,000 people will become homeless. It's like, let them take care of it. Let Michelle Wu and Governor Healy take care of the illegals and the welfare state that is there in Massachusetts, and get the feds out of it. Just get out of it and let them figure it out. Let them, if the people want to keep reelecting uh, like people like Michelle Wu, then let them figure out how to fund the illegals and everything else that is going on in Massachusetts. That's just one example, and everybody else. So that, you know what, if the feds just got out of it, there would be nobody to sue. The only people that they could blame are themselves, and they're not going to do that because they're all Democrats. But I don't know who else they're going to blame. But since President Trump is a Republican, this is what they're doing. So this is all political. To me, this is all political. And yeah, of course, next year for the midterms, they're absolutely going to use this. The Republicans are absolutely going to use this. They should. And because people need to be aware of the fraud and abuse that goes on with the welfare system. It's too much. It's just too much. And it really does need to stop. So, I mean, hopefully that'll change. Maybe it's going to take a little time. Yeah, I don't know, but I really think it is out of hand. So, let me see now. Oh, I wanted to go to Laura Loomer's X account. Let me see. This is home. I got Laura Loomer up there. She probably still has the Muslim Brotherhood, pinned there. So she reposted Irene Wexler. Tucker Carlson's latest trick is selective amnesia. He pretends he's never heard of people he's literally hosted, not only because he hopes you'll conclude that they're irrelevant, but because he assumes you're too stupid to catch on. Unfortunately for him, we have the receipts. Well, I don't know what they're talking about there. Laura Loomer, 3 minutes ago, burqa. Do you put a burqa on a flower? Oh my gosh, this woman really just obsessed with the Muslims. It's really something. Women are the manager of the home, not a servant for you to say, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why isn't the house clean? A woman is like a flower. A flower must be cared for and protected, and she will enrich you with her color, fragrance, and qualities. I don't know I don't know what Laura Loomer's point is here. I don't know what she's trying to make, targeting certain people because she's Israel first. Yeah, you know what? The Muslims, maybe not all of them. I don't know. I don't know this culture. Okay. Maybe the Muslims, maybe some of them do treat women like dirt, and maybe some of them respect them and give them what, I've seen rich Arabs get married, and they treat their women like they're queens. They give them whatever they want. I don't see that. Like, but I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it exists. And again, there's always um, there's always a group of people in every race that are just duds. I mean, come on. It's not just the Muslims and the Arabs. This is ridiculous. And this is what she talks about. She's insane. She is. She's insane. Let me see. Oh, this is what she reposted. President Trump, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother, that is fraud. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman. She should be thrown out of the country. She's a disaster. On December 2nd, yesterday, she posted, Laura Loomer, jihadi congresswoman Ilhan Omar became belligerent. Oh yeah, I did read that yesterday. She called her jihadi. I mean, how is this woman not getting sued with what she is saying? That's a lot like libel, defamation. How does she get away with this? How does this woman get away with doing this? I don't understand. Laura Loomer knew 2 hours ago. Chief Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell just gave me a statement about the Signalgate IG report that is set to be released to the public tomorrow. The report has already been given to Congress. This Inspector General review is a total exoneration of Secretary Hegseth and proves that we knew what we knew all along. No classified information was shared. This matter is resolved and the case is closed. Okay. That was the boat. 2 strikes, 3 strikes. I mean, what? I don't understand what difference it makes. I don't. Denaturalize Ilhan Omar. You know what? There's a lot of things this administration hasn't done. Is people like this, as an example, that committed fraud on an application, like supposedly Mamdani did as well. And I don't know how, and Michelle Wu and people like in Illinois, governors and mayors in California, Seattle, or Washington, or Portland, Chicago, New York, they're still there. Nothing is being done to these people. Now, I don't know if it's a law for them is different than a laws for somebody else, like the other people that are not Congress or whatever. Nobody knows who they are. I mean, there are 2 separate laws here for people that break what the laws concerning applications, immigrant application, and the like. I don't know. I don't know. But it seems like it. 3 hours ago, she posted, "Is this your way of saying that you went to Qatar to make money? That sounds great, but I have to work and pay bills because not all of us come from rich Jewish families." Yeah, once again, she signals out people that go to these Arab countries. Why she cares, I don't know. Why she isn't being sued is another question. Why is she targeting people that go, private citizens, just regular citizens, going wherever they can go, wherever the heck they want? How did she find out about this? I don't understand. She must use keywords in search and find Qatar and find people. I mean, this is what she does. This is all she does. How is it that she hasn't even gotten sued yet? This is what I don't get. Michael Caputo, she reposted. Laura Loomer, that is. You may love or hate Laura Loomer, but anybody who thinks she won't hold powerful people accountable is just not paying attention. Yeah, well, you know what? That's all she needs to hear, Michael Caputo. That's all she needs to hear. And you must be Israel first as well. Because the people that like Laura Loomer are Israel first. And you're all brainwashed, by the way. So is she. in a different way. But the Christian Zionists are all brainwashed. You're ridiculous. Or you're getting paid by APAC. And God knows who is paying Laura Loomer. I don't know. But she's definitely not America first. She is very concerned about Qatar, Muslims, and the like. She is not a force of nature. I don't know what this is all about. She doesn't talk about Mike Huckabee and the meeting between him and the former Israeli spy. She doesn't say anything about that. She hasn't said anything about the 16-year-old that was held in a military prison in Israel when he went to go visit his family in the West Bank, who is from Florida, like her. She doesn't say anything about that either. She doesn't say anything about the ceasefire that Israel has broken like 500 times. She doesn't say anything about that either. How is she a force when all she is an Israeli propagandist? This is what I'm saying. People are stupid. People are stupid. Period. They're stupid. I don't know how else to say it. They're just dumb. Pentagon press secretary is not aware of any French military plot to assassinate Candace Owens. Laura Loomer, justice has been served. Who the hell sexually assaults kids and dogs? What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Alex Jones reposted. She reposted Alex Jones. Journalist Laura Loomer breaks bombshell intel on the active deep state coup to remove Hegseth. If they succeed, the path is clear to make their move on Trump. Watch and share this. Oh, she's another. She talks about Candace Owens. She's another one making up crap. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton continues to lead in the Texas Senate GOP primary. Okay. He must be Israel first as well, or else she wouldn't be mentioning it. Adam Credo, she reposted just in. Internal Hamas talks reveal terror groups' infiltration of UN-affiliated aid groups in Gaza. Bombshell disclosure details for first time how terror group co-opted nonprofits affiliated with the UN, Europe, and US. Hamas placed allies into senior NG jobs, ensuring they can be exploited for security purposes. Oh, I'm sure she loved that, and I don't know if that's true. So you need two sides of the story. Department of State, Laura Loomer loves this. This is 8 hours ago. Radical Islam has shown that their desire is not simply to occupy one part of the world and be happy with their own little caliphate. They want to expand. No, that's Israel. That is what Israel is doing. That's what Israel is doing. It's revolutionary in its nature. It seeks to expand and control more territories and more people. That's clear and imminent threat to the world and to the broader West, but especially the United States, who they identify as the chief source of evil on the planet. Oh, but not Israel, right? It's just it's radical. They're radical. Yeah, right. I agree. But not Israel, though. I mean, it's really something. It really is something. Breaking, December 2nd. 50% of visas in Minnesota are fraudulent, per Christy Nome. 50%. MTG, secret ties to Soros-funded Trump haters behind her latest meltdown. I don't get it. To me, this is all rhetoric. She's trying to make it look like that Marjorie Taylor Greene is associated with Soros. This woman, again, how is she not being sued? Representative Maxine Waters from California's 43rd Congressional District and the ranking member of the House Financial Services Committee is reportedly delinquent on property taxes for her multi-million-dollar Los Angeles, California mansion. As of December 1st, 2025, Maxine's California residence remains in default with a redemption still due totaling over $21,000 despite her recent payment of $19,000 on August 13. Maxine also is incurring a monthly penalty of $301. Maxine is not competent to serve as a ranking member on the House Financial Services Committee when she cannot even keep her own house in order. Well, okay. Wow, that's quite a breakthrough there, Laura, I gotta say. Eric Finman. Oh, it's gotta be something good about her. Oh, she's a force of nature. No, she's not. I'm sorry. No. 18 hours ago, the Department of Homeland Security has announced a complete halt to processing immigration. Yes, we already know that. Okay. I don't know what she has done to, I have like no clue. But that is her latest there on her page. Again, she is fixated on the Muslims, but nothing about Israel. There is absolutely nothing about Israel. Absolutely nothing. She's America first, but she has a Star of David next to her name. This is ridiculous. She's ridiculous. President Trump is ridiculous. The Pentagon is ridiculous for this woman that I have no clue what she's doing. She's really like a thorn on their side. I don't see the relationship here. I don't see what good she is doing. She is a propagandist for Israel. I don't know if she's getting paid by Netanyahu because he is paying social influencers. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand how she even got into this position, other than that she's a certain religion. Other than that, I have like no clue what this woman is. I don't know. I heard of her, a while back when she ran for Congress and she was a journalist and she was having a hard time. I forget what it was for at that point. I forget. So, but they were going after her for something. I don't know. But she ended up losing, I think it was a congressional seat to a Democrat. And you know what? Maybe that was a good thing because she is just Israel at this point. And I really don't understand what the Pentagon is doing. I don't understand what President Trump is doing concerning these Zionists. I really don't get it. And I think he's making a mistake. Israel is in trouble. She doesn't talk about that either. So I don't know. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's been a half an hour. It's all I wanted to do. I will go on Facebook Live tomorrow morning and I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. So I'll find out. There are so many things that you can talk about. And this is my channel here on YouTube. So like or follow or subscribe, whatever. Even just liking it, the videos or whatever. That's it, guys. We have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.